Welcome back. As the situations in Ukraine and the Middle East intensify, how does the dysfunction in our Congress complicate our perception around the globe? Here's Rick Smith and his guest with more on that.
Our adversaries are watching the infighting as Republicans are paralyzed in the House. He says, I see a lot of threats out there, but one of the biggest threats I see is in that room because we can't unify as a conference and put a speaker in the chair to govern. And I said this from the beginning. One of the biggest threats to this country right now is the Republican Party and their inability to govern one of the three branches of our government. And look, the world is watching. The globe is watching how dysfunctional we are. And that ain't good. Not good for us on any level. And here to share some thoughts on where we are and what this means and maybe a different perspective, I've asked our good friend Rich Ojeda to come talk with us. Rich is the host of Ojeda Live, where you can find him every weeknight. Also, he is the chief cook and bottle washer over at the Turn Left Pack, turnleftpack.org, the website, if you want to take a look at that. Rich, thanks for taking time for us.
Anytime, man. I always enjoy being on your show, Rick.
So what do you make of McCall's statement that our adversaries are watching and the problem is them?
Well, right now, Europe is a powder keg with Russia and Ukraine. And now we've got basically everything going south over in Israel. This is not the time for us to not have leadership. This is not the time. I mean, literally, just imagine what would happen if one of our ships that are now in the Middle East, if it happened to get rocketed or bombed or sunk. We don't even have Congress, to be able to come in and vote whether or not to commit us to war if something happens to our troops. This is absolutely horrible. And I think the world is watching. And what we're seeing is that the Republicans do not have the ability to rule. They can't get along. And, once again, they took off for the weekend. This is not the time to be taken off for the weekend. And then again, too, we got Jim Jordan is the leading guy, but he's going to have to probably make some concessions with Democrats. And I don't think Democrats are going to want to do anything with him. I don't think you can trust him. No different than Kevin McCarthy. The reason why, I love it when people say, the Democrats voted with Matt Gaetz. No, they didn't. They voted against Kevin McCarthy because all the promises that Kevin McCarthy made, he broke. I can assure you that if the Republicans want to basically do a vote to oust Gaetz, 100% of the Democrats will vote there too.
But here's the thing. I don't think Jordan's going to get any Democratic help because, I do remember Benghazi. I do remember all of the things that he's done over the years that I don't see Democrats ever coming around to helping him. But again, this isn't the Democrats' problem. The Democrats are not at fault here, no matter how many times Kevin McCarthy blames Democrats for the chaos that Republicans have created. This is not a Democratic Party problem. This is the leadership of the Republican Party who are in the majority right now. So my question is this them telling us they don't want to be in the majority? They like minority status because they can be the children that they are in the minority status.
Well, being in the majority, your job is to pick a speaker. And they are proving to absolutely not be able to do that. And once again, like I said, the Democrats don't have no responsibility to come to the rescue of anybody in the Republican Party. And I don't know, this is going to be ugly. But I'll tell you right now, they better figure this stuff out really quick. Because we have a lot of.
But Rich, for the good of the country, Democrats should concede. Democrats should come around and they should give in.
No, they should not give in to Jim Jordan. There's no reason to give in to Jim Jordan.
For the good of the country, Rich.
Look, it's not, but that's not the good of the country. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that Jim Jordan deserves to be in that position. I mean, remember, if he becomes the Speaker of the House, he's like third in line for the presidency.
He is,
and here's the guy who absolutely, I guarantee you, participated in January 6th, knew everything about January 6th. This guy literally helped Donald Trump. So it's the last person that we want to see with the gavel. And the Democrats have no responsibility whatsoever to elevate him to that position. They have every responsibility to fight like hell to make sure that we don't have somebody like Jim Jordan getting the gavel.
Now, it was said today by McHenry, the interim speaker, that basically Republicans aren't showing up. Out of the 221, only 209 bothered to show up for work. There are 212 Democrats who voted for Hakeem Jeffries. There seems to be a majority there.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's really messed up that, behind closed doors, the Republicans are scared because when Donald Trump said that Jim Jordan is the one, the Republicans don't want Jim Jordan. They know he's a joke. I mean, here's the guy who literally had the gall to tell somebody that he was going to subpoena them and Swalwell destroyed him, by the way. I mean, it's a double standard that this guy, lives by. And I mean, at the end of the day, you have a lot of Republicans that are scared to actually come out and vote because they don't want to have to say, I want that person other than Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
Not Kevin McCarthy, but other than Jim Jordan, because Donald Trump is going to attack everybody who does not go with him.